Okay, I think it's going live.
Hey, hi everyone.
Okay, I hope co-hosts can unmute themselves, right? So Ajay, you can unmute yourself, right? I have muted everyone. It's going to be Ajay, Daya, Rajiv bhai. Great. First of all, thank you so much everyone for joining us for this so-called webinar. It's actually, Ajay, you're not able to go. Give me 1 second.
Thank you.
Okay, wonderful. Great.
Rajiv
So,
also chasing the.
Rajiv also.
Rajiv,
Rajiv
you are able to
also.
unmute?
Stickers are
Yes.
also facing the issue.
Give me 1 second. Rajiv, you will be able to
Done.
unmute? Done, na? Great, thank you. Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us for this Leaders Lounge, powered by Talent on Lease Tech Titans. This is something basically about inviting some leaders who have been veteran in the industry and asking them to share their perspective about that what is happening in the industry, in their domain, and with their experience onto what they have been observing for last many years, and especially in last I'll say 2-3 years, basically what has changed. So kind of have those discussion around it. We have Ajay Ajmera. Ajay is double Ajay Ajmera आ रहे हैं वहाँ पे. So I don't know what could be the reason, but yes, double power Ajay to you. So Ajay is the CIO for Rockman. So we have Mr. Rajiv Sikka. Rajiv Sikka is the CIO for Medanta. We also have Harvinder Banga. Harvinder is the group CIO in the logistics industry. Basically, he has been veteran. I see a lot of posts from Harvinder about team building, about motivating others, how to kind of manage the projects and all those things. We also have Daya Prakash. Daya is a CIO for, not CIO, CEO, founder and CEO now basically for Talent on Lease. Daya has been CIO earlier for LG. So मैं तो उसको तब से जानता हूँ. So that's something basically which we carry that this relationship. I think you are also supposed to join by Dr. Sunil Pandey. He might be on the way to Zoom. So we may also hear him joining soon with us onto this. Today's topic, and first let me just give you a little background on that what is this and why did we started about this. We thought that we have been hearing lot from the partner perspective. We have been hearing a lot from the industry perspective, basically what has been happening onto this. But we thought that why don't we create something, basically a lounge concept, wherein that we should be inviting not one leader, not two, rather 3 to 4 leaders who should be able to, or we call it as a practitioner, who come back and share their perspective about what is happening. And in this, you'll find that from the manufacturing, from healthcare, from logistics, and from the company which is basically into talent management, basically how they have been seeing it and what has been happening about it. So just to give a little perspective about myself, Rajesh Munjal, before CIO, moved to CEO business and then started this community platform. Currently into 7 cities, have more than 10,000 across members into HR, admin, procurement, as well as IT, and working with 100 plus clients. Currently, we are also promoting AI as a buzzword, which we are talking about on the code analyzer thing. But I'll come to my story later. But we'll first start with small introduction from our panelists, and then we'll move towards the questions specific to this. So starting with Ajay, Ajay, you can brief a little bit about yourself, and then we'll start onto the
So,
questions.
good evening, all of you. And myself, Ajay Ismera, I represent the Rockman industry as a group CIO. I have a 25-year rich experience in the manufacturing and completely digital transformation in from ERP migration, digital transformation on the latest platform, IT infrastructure modernization, cyber security enhancement, and Industry 4.0 AI implementation, analytics implementation.
Great. Thank you, Ajay. Thanks a lot. We'll move to Harvinder.
Hi, my name is Harinder Singh Banga. I represent Movers International Group, which is into a freight forwarding and logistics solution. And I've been working for a logistics company since close to 25 years now, and doing different type of transformation, not just digital, but also part of business transformation also in many cases.
Great. As I said, the logistics man we have with us. So great. Thank you, Harvinder. Rajiv.
Sure. My name is Rajiv Sikka and I'm part of Medanta IT. Been with Medanta for roughly 11 plus years. I think this is my first exposure of working in the healthcare industry and first exposure of being in the India context. So a lot of learning, and I think learning has just started.
Great. Thank you, Ajay. Mr. Daya Prakash.
Hello, everyone. My name is Daya Prakash, and I run this company by the name of Talent on Leaves. Prior to kind of starting this company, I was, the CIO at LG Electronics. So overall, I bring 30 years of experience, in which, I've been part of many digital transformation journeys in my experience, and I have seen a lot of challenges in the digital transformation journey. That's something that basically kind of compelled me to think about, from a solution point of view, something that addresses the problem of shortage of quality tech talent, and that's what Talent on Leave is meant for. But we'll discuss this maybe more in detail as we move forward. Thank you, Ravi.
Great. Thank you, Daya. Thanks a lot. Okay, as I said, this is basically about understanding about the currently what is happening on the industry side of it. I'll start with Rajiv, with you about evolution in IT delivery, right? There is a lot which we have seen in last few years, right? I'll not say not very few years, but yes, recently in last 2-3 years, basically what we have been observing about it, AI is fundamentally redefining, and particularly into every sector onto this. And we have, in my era, we call it as a projects, basically onto this. When I used to be so we always used to say that, yeah, this is a project we are doing, this is what we call it as a software development, basically, which you are saying. Then it came to project, then it came to productization of things. And now there is nobody which is required. So how IT is actually fundamentally redefining this delivery. So I would like to start with you first.
Sure. Not talking about the age, but all of us are, have seen all the phases of software development because it started roughly 35, 40 years back. And all of us have seen right from the phase one. And incidentally, despite being a relatively young industry compared to hospital, compared to industry, compared to agriculture, you know, this industry keeps evolving uh, decade by decade. So Rajesh ji, if you allow me, I'll just share one slide. It will give you the complete perspective of this industry in one single slide, or last 35 years of my own experience. So I'm going to show only one slide. Is my screen visible?
Yeah, it's coming up.
So you said that remember this waterfall life cycle, which was there for software development.
Hmm.
So this is how it used to do. You do planning for 18 odd months, and you plan and you do deliver each and everything as per those 18 months. But then what used to happen is that in those 18 months, too much of
Nobody.
water has already flown to nobody wants it. Okay. So this was the typical problem when we started with a waterfall. In my engineering college, in the second year, we used to talk about this waterfall, why important, why each and every phase is important. But then nobody realized that 18 months is too much for someone to expect something. Then came the famous agile methodology. So here, at each step, you are delivering incremental value, and each and every step has something which is usable. I'm just taking an example of a car. But at the end of that, when the car is ready, but in between, your CEO keep asking, where is my car, where is my car? So that was the problem with the agile methodology. Now come the famous AI, which is you'll get the car on day one itself, but this car will have a rocket launcher. This will have probably all the open doors. The main door which is locked is at the back of it. So all kind of issues are there. What AI engineers say that we are not building it. They will never say that we are building it. They will always say we are shaping it, we are owning it, we are verifying it. So that's the basic difference between waterfall, agile, and AI in this last 35 years of my own experience. So now you don't need programmers. See, the biggest or the fundamental problem with the programming world was that only 1.8% of the whole population was in the programming field. Now, with the advent of AI, more than 80% of the people can do programming, because programming is not a language, it's a spoken language. And that's what is going to change, in my view. How you ask how IT is evolving. Now 80% of the people are programmers. That's the basic fundamental change which is bound to come, has already come.
Fantastic. I think Rajiv, you made it clear this thing. 80% people are now programmers, basically, which is because everybody can write a code now, right? So taking from there onto this, that wherein that you show that there is a big shift which we have been seeing, and we are seeing मतलब when we used to say कि यार हर किसी को टेक्नोलॉजी आती है, CIO को बाद में आती है, पहले बिजनेस वाले को टेक्नोलॉजी आती है बिकॉज वो गूगल मार लेता है. अब तो गूगल भी चला गया. अब तो AI पे, चैट जीपीटी पे आप पहले बता दो भाई क्या है क्या नहीं है, ही विल कम बैक टू यू कि यार ये सॉल्यूशन ऑलरेडी है. Coming to onto this, to Harvinder, onto this. Harvinder, you have been in the industry for 25 years. And when Daya was saying that he has been there for 38 years, I was saying वही नहीं चाहिए basically. 38 years is too much basically. We need three months and 8 days basically. You have to be the experiential this thing. And when I used to say that कि I'm into different roles onto it, and I always kind of learn from that. So coming to you, Arvinder, onto this, how do you see this evolution in IT delivery in the logistics sector particularly, and what has been changing?
Sure, sir. I think I would like to add from where Rajiv sir have, Rajiv Sikka sir have stopped there. I think he has given a very good perspective, and I really love the way he presented the, different three eras. So to start with, I think the way I look is, when I don't know before EDP what used to happen, but when I started my career, there was a EDP department. And that EDP department, from electronic data processing department, it turned to a computerization department. Then we become a computer guys, okay, this is a section, computer section. Remove your shoes and go then inside the room. That kind of scenario was there. And over a period of time, when strong technology become a part, then it become IT function and then now a digital function. So I think I would say that nothing changed much from a delivery perspective, but engine is changed over a period of time. And that is what ways, we also grown up, we also learned. If I take you a real-time example, the way, Rajiv sir have taken from our automotive industry, if I take it from a logistics industry, when we used to be in a waterfall, environment, we used to build, application, a longest application after 1 year, 2 years. But when we deliver it, we always thought of that it is delivered very well because we have never heard anything from any user. That was the part. Like I would say that was a missing part, but we were enjoying it because we never get a complaint. But the reality was we were not focusing on adoption at all. When we moved to this another second era where we were agile, we are getting a feedback very quickly and fast from the business user. I think we reached to a era where a lot of demand start coming in, right? And business was quite faster than a IT people, because IT teams are always a limited number of set of people in any organization, and business number of business users are much more higher. And as you said, like people look at the Google. I still remember, even our bosses shows us कि देखो WhatsApp में तो ये चलता है, Facebook में ये हो रहा है. They never know that who are sitting behind those applications. So from that era, I think we realized that now the adoption is already there and even they are running faster. And currently, when we really look into the AI era, where believe it that users are now coming to us after bringing a pilot version of it, because there are tools which is coming like Canva, Figma coming up, AI inbuilt AI features, and 80% of thing whatever they needed they are already building it, which is obviously cannot be run in the enterprise level, but at least they are coming up with a very clear sorts of requirement. So BRD have been removed. All real and practical experiences is created by user only in this AI era. I think is taking a well shape while requirement coming in. So that's what we are standing right now in a AI era.
I think you made a very important point basically by saying that when we used to do this at the waterfall model, the biggest challenge was, as Rajiv Bhai also said, that about implementation of it, कि यार जब तक 18 महीने में पूरा होगा, whether the business need it or not, right? So that's something basically which was there. Now we are saying that the things have completely changed, right? So it is basically that it's already half used when you kind of start implementing or kind of start building it up from that perspective. I'm sure that puts a lot of challenge onto somebody who has been a veteran and seen that phase, right? So building up something which you call it as application or maybe from the infra point of view and primarily from the manufacturing sector. I'll come to Ajay onto this. Ajay, how have you seen this change into the manufacturing sector since you have been part of manufacturing for long? So how have you seen this happening onto it? And then I'll straight away come to my questions about that particular thing. Just want to have small let's see how have you seen that from the manufacturing standpoint?
So already the context is well set by the Sikkaji and Harvinderji on their images and the elaboration. The IT department evolution and the digital transformation. So on top of it, the Harvinderji, I just added the EDP is converting to IT. Now the IT is converting to digital department because we have the no perimeter across our organization. The globally we are can access every systems and integrated with all the things. I am just adding the on that AI use cases. So AI through AI adoption, we are adding the and reduce the lead time. Likewise, on 2012, my first SAP implementation was taken the 18 to 20 months for the implementation from scratch to the delivery. And last, my seventh implementation I was done SAP ERP is in only the 4 months with the
Wow.
help of the AI. So the AI is not currently the buzzword. The huge case where you are will be added the AI or maybe the leveraging the AI to reduce the lead time, quality work, and reduce the quantum works.
Wonderful. I think using this and making it to 4 months is commendable, basically, because that is something basically which is people or the organizations are looking towards how AI is actually contributing towards that because there is a lot which is being spoken about this. So I'll come to there. There you have been or meeting up with a lot of clients, your own customers, your prospects, and others. How are you seeing this a model shift? Because all of us come from that era of ADP, right? So that's something basically which I was listening to Ajay also that ADP, Harinder also spoken about ADP, right? So you also part of ADP अपने वहां से और हमने सारी साइकिलें we have kind of seen that. How are you seeing this operating model shift? Is this now a skill? It is now that structure, or is it basically that how the organization are looking for the working way of working basically?
Sure, Rajesh. I think a great question. And if we talk about the evolution of IT, that the way we have spoken about, and if I talk about it, it will be kind of I'll be repeating myself what Sikaji has already said or Harvinder or Ajay has already said. So we all know that this model has completely shifted, right? But I think one thing that I want to highlight is that why this shift has happened, right? And you would appreciate Rajesh, and I hope everyone will appreciate that it's not today. It's been like decades that we've been talking about productivity enhancements, efficiencies, improvement, etc., etc. And it's all the effort that goes behind, which basically has taken us in the situation that we are in today. There have been always forward-looking people, leaders who are like, visionary leaders who've been thinking about how to solve the same problem in a completely different way. And this has always happened. Right? And thanks to times like COVID, there are people who've been kind of leaders, there have been people who've been laggards, but that was the time which tested everyone, right? And people had absolutely no choice. Right? Either you survive or you get killed. It was as simple as that. So I think what has happened is that the whole AI evolution, this has got expedited in last maybe 5 6 years if you look at it in real sense, because there were companies who realized, there were leaders who realized that if we have to stay in the game, we have to do something fundamentally different, and that's what AI is basically helping organizations and achieving the objective that they have decided for themselves, right? What has happened in this whole evolution, the focus is completely now on the skills, right? I mean, if you look at, look at past, look at now, there's been dearth of people who have the skill where you give them a challenge and they're ready to kind of, deliver. So industry yesterday also was looking for same set of folks. Industry today is also looking for same set of folks. All we need in today's world is people who've been enough skilled on, wearing that attitude, always pushing themselves in the challenging situation and saying that I will be able to deliver, right? I have the tools, I have the technologies in place, and I have these skills that I can make use of these tools and deliver what business is expecting me to deliver as an outcome, right? So gone are the days when you used to talk about, the pedigree or the whole, the education background. But today is all about game of, skills that you bring to the table. So it's more to do with skill rather than, the degree or the pedigree, Rajesh, in my mind.
Yeah, I think bang on there basically because most important is the delivery part and who will make the delivery happen, right? It is only the skill onto this, and I always read on whatever happening on the new front. We have never said कि यार we can make a mistake, right? हमने कभी भी अपने बॉस को कुछ बोला है तो वी हैव गॉन विद द कॉन्फिडेंस that yes boss we will deliver it. Even in my time we used to say that ki bhaiya will deliver that, right? So but here clearly when you use any of this solution, right, so it's पहले आता है prompt AI can make mistake, right? So that's something you are granted किया ठीक है 100 में से 80 नंबर का ठीक होगा और हो सकता है 70 का ही ठीक हो, बट हो सकता है if I'm lucky 99 नंबर का भी ठीक हो सकता है. That's something, but we have never gone and said to my CEO कि boss I am human, I can also make mistake. राइट सो वो कहेगा तेरी काम गलती करने का है ही नहीं भाई, यू आर सपोज टू डू द थिंग्स राइट. दैट इज समथिंग बेसिकली व्हिच इज देयर एंड आई विद दिस क्वेश्चन आई विल कम बैक टू Harvinder on to this and Harvinder, talent is the most crucial part of it, and as I said that in any of this tool you use it, they says clearly AI can make mistake. Is your team member who is coming and saying कि भाई मैं human हूँ, I can also make a mistake, and or you're looking for some specialized talent basically onto this? What is that the talent strategy about? How are you balancing it? Because most important is that new technologies are coming in, new initiatives organization want to take. There is a team which has been working and managing old application which is basically like I'll not say SAP as an old application, but हमारे time से ही है. They are also keep on evolving onto this. There might be some logistics application which might be also be there onto it. So how do you balance it out? Because that become a critical part or crucial part for any organization to balance the manpower or balance this thing, talent onto this. How do you kind of manage that?
Yeah, sure. So, so basically, how I take it, I still remember when I started in 1999, I started as a programmer. And I think 15 years, first 15 years, I was just doing a programming before getting into the leadership and different roles in the enterprise level. So, I still remember what I used to do is in my back, there was a board which was like we can stick a paper there. And I have written there 99.99% is equal to 0. So somewhere I was giving a message to my team at that era that if you will do 0.001% mistake in your software while building, doing the programming and all, then that 0.001 leakage will really bring something bad impression and people will not use our system and they will start, complaining the things and definitely calculations will not come correct. So you rightly said that for us doing mistake is not allowed, right? Moving from that era to today's era, I have seen there is a huge accountability metrics have been changed. You cannot expect, especially the Gen Z, if you are working with, to do in the same fashion which we used to do it. So somewhere I have balanced it myself before balancing the team. That when I'm dealing with Gen Z, I'm not expecting something which used to happen in 1990s era. I'm expecting what really today is needed. So I'm trying to uh, update myself working with this Gen Z instead of changing them to work like the era I used supposed to be work. So I think this is the first change or update I started bringing on myself. Right. Second is the combination of different team. We definitely need the experienced people in team who leads most of the show. But then I always make a pod team, bringing different Gen Z in that team, mix of experience and Gen Z together, and giving them a targets as an output for the organization, not as in individual targets, not as in project targets, not at all delivery and target dates for them, but as in logistics KPI. Let's suppose we are working for drivers and we have seen that this is the region where most of accidents happen. So we will give them a target. We have to reduce by bringing the technology. We have to reduce their 30 to 40% of accidents in that zone. So now team will start looking into that zone from a business perspective, not from a IT perspective. Because when they see just from a IT perspective, they just work as an individual performer and they bring their own part से कि मैंने तो कर दिया बाकी ऑपरेशन जाने. So I think that gap we have really filled up, and we with this pod team we have operated in a very different model and given accountability to run a logistics KPI instead of any departmental KPI. Same with not just with IT, but I think we have evolved this same thing with our operational department also. That's why we have balanced it and moving forward with this new AI era.
I think that's a great point because making work as a team, right? So if I may say that, okay, with the person like me who has 30 years of experience, if I have somebody as a Gen Z who is working along with me, definitely my thought process changes, and that's what I think because they come with a different mindset onto this. They are not primarily maybe committed to do work with you for maybe 10, 12, 15 years. But whatever they are contributing to the organization or they wanted to be impactful. I think that's what I have seen
And more
in
engaged.
last my this thing because people actually we have been with the organization for long. We might have not thought that how much impact I'm creating for that organization, right? It is maybe my CEO or my boss might have thought that here whether he's contributor or not. But here this generation is definitely thinking about what is my contribution
Correct.
and am I really contributing towards something in the organization, and that gives them more, I'll say, perspective about owning the thing because they wanted to own. We may not rely on them. That could be a different this thing. But whatever small, big, or large, whatever they do, they wanted to own the thing and make an impact
Right.
onto this.
Rightly summarized, Rajesh sir. So I don't want to take a name obviously, but one or two of our CIO friends, contacted me for solving, some of these kind of ground problem of the team, and their statement was one only कि भाई ये जेनजी को संभालना बड़ा मुश्किल है ना, इनको कैसे सिखाएं. सो माय स्टेटमेंट वाज द सेम व्हिच आई स्टार्टेड विद. आई थिंक वी शुड लर्न हाउ टू टैकल देम, नॉट दैट दे शुड लर्न कि हम कैसे करते थे. सो दिस इज अ माइंडसेट चेंज व्हिच वी हैव टू अपग्रेड आवर सॉफ्टवेयर आल्सो, है ना. वी आर आल्सो थिंकिंग कि व्हाटएवर वी यूज्ड टू डू इज द ओनली राइट thing is not the only thing. We also have to update and upgrade our own software also, I would say.
I agree. I think, as you rightly said, we need to upgrade our software, right? And while technology is upgrading us every now and then, but we need to also upgrade our software, internal software, to make sure that we should be able to work. But that's a big topic. And as I always say कि यार अगर अपने बेटे के साथ काम करना सीख लिया आपने या अपने बेटी के साथ काम करना सीख लिया आपने तो आप जेनजी के साथ काम कर सकते हो बेसिकली बिकॉज दैट्स ए डिफरेंस. आई एम श्योर एवरीबडी ऑफ अस माइट बी थिंकिंग कि यार जो मैं बोलता हूँ वो बेटे को समझ में नहीं आता, जो वो बोलता है वो मेरे ऊपर से निकल जाता है. सो बट वी ट्राई टू फाइंड आउट सम बैलेंसिंग दिस थिंग जहाँ पे वी आर एबल टू ब्रिंग हिम कि यार ठीक है ना मेरी ना तेरी ये बीच वाली है, चलो इसके पे चलते हैं, सॉर्ट ऑफ दैट. But that's a big topic. I'm sure that we'll have some other day how to manage that Gen Z onto this and how do we. And for me, I have done that by spending many lakh rupees by doing an angel investments, right? Because I always wanted, yes, startup कैसे काम करते हैं. Eventually, I got also into that trap of the startup so called. But I always wanted to learn that कि यार startup कैसे काम करता है. And me and Rajiv bhai were discussing about it कि यार हमारी एनर्जी खत्म होती जा रही है अभी. बोले तू तो मत बोल कम से कम अभी. Right? So that's something basically which we keep on challenging ourselves. But yes, coming to the topic onto this, I would like to ask Rajiv bhai onto this on investments which are happening on the AI front, right? Investment which are happening on manpower front, bringing this to implement certain projects, right? Innovation which are coming up, peer pressure which is coming up, industry pressure which is coming up, because everybody today want to talk about that. Bhaiya, what are we doing onto the AI? I remember when I took this domain mls.ai in 2020, even I was not aware कि मैं AI के साथ क्या करने वाला हूँ. But I said यार ये फ्यूचर है, इसको आपको तो रखना पड़ेगा, बाकी कुछ रखो जी नहीं रखो. तो in that people ask यार AI में करते क्या हो? हमने कहा आज नहीं करते कल कुछ करेंगे. So that's what we have. Now we have built this food analyzer. Basically, where we are saying कि यार खाओ बस सोच के. So that's something basically which we are doing it. But yes, it's an investment. It's a productivity. It's a cost. 5 साल तक उस डोमेन को संभाल के रखा और आप कुछ ना कुछ करते रहे उसके अंदर. So I'm sure for you that must be the bigger because you are dealing in the healthcare. So how do you kind of define that productivity and ROI?
Good. Rajesh ji, you said it, because I'm in the healthcare. See, in any ROI, you have a numerator and a denominator. Okay, denominator is your cost, but in numerator in the healthcare is not, how much money you get back. There's something else. See, before I answer that, what is that something else? Please understand that healthcare, you as part of the health, mHealth, may be selling Nutri Expert kind of an item. So you have a product, okay? You think in Medanta or in any hospital, we sell CT services or a doctor consult services or MRI or a surgery? No. We sell trust.
Absolutely, yes.
Ours is a trust game. Okay. So how the trust comes? It comes by core caregivers, which are predominantly doctors and surgeons, giving time back to their customer, which in this case is patient. So we have to come out with a mechanism by which the most important asset in a hospital, which is a caregiver time, is available at plenty. So how do you do that? Because everybody is overloaded, and so are doctors. Some of the doctors, when they go from their chamber to the loo, a lot of people are chasing behind, sir, ye meri report hai, dekh lo. Bichara, he can't go to the loo. So that's the problem. So how do we save doctors' time? So in this particular case, AI is helping on two fronts. One, it is improving the quality of the diagnosis. It is also improving the TAT of the diagnosis, which means that I can give a quality result in a shorter time. So both of this has a huge impact on the line of treatment which is given. So my ROI is calculated that how many use cases, how many AI agents, either in the co-pilot mode or in the pilot mode, which we have deployed successfully and are in use by the caregivers. So that's my ROI. I'll give multiple examples, but one thing is very clear that uh, you know what patient. One simple example is that we run India biggest TB free program. TB free means that you go to the remote areas and find out. In last 4 5 years, not even one single X-ray is seen by a radiologist, which means that an AI agent as a co-pilot is generating that. We have an agentic AI software in the OPD where doctor and patient conversation is directly converted into a prescription in less than 1 minute, maximum 30 seconds, but longer conversation for a chronic patient. First visit is, so just imagine that doctor is taking 10 minutes, that too for preparing a half uh, drafted prescription, but now he's generating a very detailed, very comprehensive, very quality oriented prescription in less than a minute. So that's what my ROI is. So in this particular case, denominator is your cost, but in healthcare, the numerator is not, the revenue. It's the time which I'm saving, is the quality which I'm producing, is the efficiency which I'm bringing to the table in the healthcare context.
I think fantastic point, Rajiv bhai, as you rightly said that in the healthcare you are selling trust. That's basically is the core of caregivers, basically who are care, what we call it as the care providers onto this. And in this segment, there are, and how the trust is being given, as you rightly said, that because you are able to give that diagnostic, which could be a clean diagnostic from the point of view that you are able to explain everything to a person who is going through that challenge, that gives him a trust, right? Along with that, your efficiency or productivity is being increased by, because you're using, as you said, that for 30 minutes or for 30 seconds or maybe 1 minute, you are able to do this, whatever the conversation might have happened in the last 45 minutes to 1 hour, and he's able to kind of get through this. And there is no product, there is service, and service is also only trust. But yes,
Sir,
sorry.
Rajesh sir, so listening Rajiv Sikka ji, actually, I was thinking little differently here. He, I think, rightly said trust is the most important element when we talk about the healthcare. But I thought of, I think he's kind of, helping delivering lives, birth, and sometime rebirth. I think that is the biggest thing when somebody come out of the, healthcare or getting treatment from hospital or somewhere outside, and somebody sometimes feels that they have gone another life. That is what I think Sikka sir's profession is helping overall, community on that way.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Harvinder. It is basically that because they are dealing with life, right? And I take an example of similar this thing that in your case, you are not dealing with life, but you are also selling a trust. In my previous organization, wherein that I used to work for transportation, I was also selling a trust. Trust means
Correct.
what? Basically, the trust level could be a different this thing, because we all are selling trust. Trust
Correct.
level could be a different, because he is selling a trust for life. कि यार तू
Yes.
मेरे पास आया है, तेरी जिंदगी में बचा दूंगा. That's something
Correct.
basically which is there. With you, आपने मेरे को पैकेट दिया है, तो I'll get that delivered on time.
Correct.
राइट? मेरे पास अगर मैं प्रीवियस अवतार देखूं तो मेरे पास ट्रस्ट है कि यार मेरे को तूने गाड़ी बुक कराई है, तो मैं तेरी टाइम पे पहुंचा दूंगा.
Correct. Trust is the
Right?
common factor here,
Trust
right?
is the common factor basically. But yes, here the biggest factor is that how much trust. So मेरे लिए अगर वो मेरा मटेरियल टाइम पे नहीं पहुंचा वहां पे उस दिन, और मेरा कोई एक्टिविटी है, इवेंट है, या मेरा कोई सेरेमनी है, कुछ फंक्शन है, that could be a killer. And for you, that you may lose the customer. But here, the trust is about life. Can I give
Correct.
my life in the hand of somebody who can be trusted on to it? Because we are running out of
Right.
time. I'll come back to Ajay, and then we'll move to the last question of this segment. Ajay bhai, you have been into manufacturing, and I have worked in manufacturing initial years in 95 to 2000 and some 6-7 yes into manufacturing. मैंने 10-12 साल काम किया, उस टाइम पे काम किया. अब तो manufacturing बहुत चेंज हो गया. And manufacturing में the biggest challenge is that while I can speak to ROI with Rajiv bhai, right, you also have a risk of doing innovation, and at the end of the day, you might not get anything out of this, or you are not able to project that. How has been your experience in implementing certain things which might not have delivered what you have expected, or may have over delivered what you might have? But you can share any of the example or anything basically on.
So, Rockman Industries have a 66-year-old legacy, and our management also have this legacy, but they have the mindset. So, AI is not the buzzword and the tool. It's the change of the our working style. So, in this, how do we leveraging AI in our daily practitioning? So it's not a cultural change. In basically in cultural change, so we are building a division in our digital department. Likewise, in our digital department, we have the application division, the IT infrastructure division, the cyber security division. Same, we are build a division for the AI, and same thing was Bangaji said that we have added the Gen Z in this team. Also picking some of the business users and making of the AI champions on their business team and doing some POCs and the eliminating of the work. For that, we are taking the low-hanging projects. Likewise, the visual inspection is the basic thing. So AI-based visual inspections implementing across the organization for our security cameras, for our visual inspection in the quality systems, the production line monitoring. So this is the first thing. Second thing is the predictive maintenance. So we have the IoT implementation, the SAP data, top of it we build the data lake, and on top of it we are build the AI based the predictive maintenance. Third thing is the energy. So we taken the energies to the flow meter, the energy meters, all utility meters too. We can take the digital data, and through AI we are processing and finalize, or maybe the take the how do we reduce the energy, where we reduce the energy, how to reduce the downtime. These things are doing the through AI. And on the ROI sides, the our thinking is that so we are not directly improve the our plant KPIs such as the uptime or defect rates and energy cost. We are changing AI values from tangible because improvements are visible on the shop floor itself. And on the risk side, if you are saying, we are builded the guardrails from day one, not open on the our open AI systems and the tools. We are build or AI systems on our premise only.
Wonderful. I think good to see that you have kind of built a separate team for AI basically, which is commendable. Because generally what we do is basically यार ये चार बंदे बैठे हैं इनमें से एक बंदे को लगा दो प्रोजेक्ट पे and उसके बाद में and that's the reason basically biggest success or a failure depend because चलो ठीक है ये काम नहीं हुआ तो इसको कोई और दूसरा काम दे देंगे and we
Correct.
generally do in that way कि यार चलो ठीक है चार बंदों में से एक बंदे को आप ये वाला प्रोजेक्ट आया चलो भैया राजेश मिंजाल तुम कर लो वो बट राजेश मिंजाल को भी सेफ्टी पता है यार अगर ये प्रोजेक्ट नहीं चला तो कोई बात नहीं मेरे पास दूसरा तो बेस वाला काम तो है ही है
So because the AI is just evolving the AI is evolving from 1960s, but the generative AI is built from the last 3 to 4 years.
Correct.
And same thing, the Gen Z is also have the same kind of the bandwidth for that.
Absolutely, yes. I completely agree. Thank you, Ajay bhai. Thanks a lot for putting that perspective onto this. Coming to Daya, and then I'll move to the last segment, which is basically the future of AI or future of talent or what is it we see that as a future. But coming to you, basically that you have been dealing with a lot of clients and I understand you also doing some projects with the customers and large scale projects. How do you define ROI for the customers and what are the expectations from the customer perspective?
I think, Rajesh, in our context, primarily we are an organization, basically, you know, outsourced workforce management company. But for us, I mean, if I look at it, the ROI is very simple for us, which is what is it that our end customer is looking at. So, for example, we recently picked up a project in the industry. It's a real estate kind of conglomerate, where the whole objective is that there is a defined work which is a kind of e-com in the nature that is being done. And the expectation from us was very, very simple from the customer side, saying that, okay, this is the work that we are doing, this is the team that we have in place, this is the structure that we have in place. How can talent on lease come in picture and deliver the same throughput or maybe more, but with less, right? And there we had to kind of sit down and understand with them each and every piece of it and saying that, okay, this is where we feel that there is an area for scope of improvement. There we can work, for the better productivity, where we can have lesser number of people, so to say, supporting and managing the whole application, but not compromising on any of the KPIs or the quality parameters, right? And it again depends on customer to customer. It again depends on the projects that we work on. Every project is unique in our case, because some of the projects will be in, let's say, fintech industry, and they'll have completely different outlook, but some of them will be in ed tech or health tech or travel tech or maybe IT service company project. So each of this project is basically having a different definition of ROI. But what I've seen broadly is that the way this technology is changing, one thing that we have seen our customer kind of realizing and aligning with us is that gone are the days where they have to get X amount of work done by incurring, let's say, whatever cost actually. That work could be done at a fractional cost. And I give you one live example, right? So this is one of our customers that we have been having conversation, and he's saying that, I'm looking at a person who can come and deliver this, and I'm looking at a budget of, let's say, 20 to 30 lakh rupees, right? And uh, per annum for this particular person, for this particular role. And we sat down with this particular client and we said that, what is the work that this person is supposed to do? And in the process, we realized that they were looking at a full stack developer where majority of the work to be done was to do the backend integration or the API integration of the app that they had, which is lifeblood for them, right? So lifeline for them. And for that they were incurring that cost, and wherein when we analyzed, we gave them a solution saying that what we should do or what you should do, you should rather hire someone who's a top-notch expert on the the back-end side, and on the front-end side, since the work is pretty much done already and you will need interventions, what you can do is you can bring in those front-end experts as and when required, even for a duration like a week to maybe 2 weeks to maybe 1 month. But then what has happened is suddenly that 30 lakh has become now 18-20 lakh. And even if we go ahead and spend, let's say, some amount of money on the front end developer that we bring in as an intervention time to time, the overall cost is still not going to go beyond maybe, let's say, 22 lakh. That's the actual calculation that we have done, right? So this is how today organizations are basically figuring it out as to how they calculate the ROI. And we sit down with the customer, and that's the only advantage that we would have, having come out from the industry, knowing that how industry operates and the challenges that industry face, and the kind of solution that we can bring in. But for other companies, it was easy to suggest a solution saying that you're looking at a 30 lakh per annum manpower, and we give you 30 lakh per annum manpower. That's it. So that's not the value, for us at least as in talent only. So, yeah.
Great, wonderful point. I think very well explained there, and thanks for giving this the real life examples basically onto this. And before I move to the last segment of this, anybody has a questions? And I'm loving this discussion honestly, because it is coming straight away from the practitioner. It is not something basically a Gyan session. It is actually what you guys have gone through onto this. And thank you so much for sharing that. This I will.
So,
Yeah.
Rajesh, we'll tell people to put questions on the chat so that there is a good compilation, and then you can, somebody can read it out if it is okay
Perfect.
with you.
Great. So, in case anybody has a question, please put it on the chat, or in case you want to speak, I can unmute you, and maybe probably we can kind of do that way. And we'll also have some lucky draws basically on the LinkedIn contest and all. We'll quickly go maybe in a minute after this final round of questions. So, coming to you, Rajiv bhai, about the future, right? everybody want to hold on to the future. Basically, everybody wanted to kind of capture the future today onto this. While this is unpredictable, everybody in this world want to kind of ensure that I should be surviving tomorrow, right? And for
Yeah.
you have to make others survive tomorrow. That's something basically which is there as an healthcare professionals. So how do you see the future with what is happening in the industry?
So,
Sure.
is
So,
the current scenario the AI is also disruptive the AI? Likewise, before the September 2025, all are using the Chat GPT and the tools. From November onwards, likewise, the Cloud Age introduced their capabilities. Most of the scenarios are changed. Everybody is now using the cloud and their functionality. So the changing of the AI also disrupt to the AI and new tools are introduced. So the 2-3 year is the very as per current scenario, the 2-3 year is a very long tenure for that. And for the IT delivery, moving from the human executive is maybe completely on the AI driven, autonomous, or maybe the optimize themselves. And AI agents is introduced, or maybe the after the AI, maybe I don't know what is the new things will come, because the predictive maintenance will be converted to the prescriptive maintenance. This kind of the bot itself, or maybe the AI agent itself, they are delivered, they are making the changes in the system, and doing the seamless supply chain itself. Then the decision making will be completely driven by the AI base, and this is the things.
Great. AI is disrupting AI. I think that's what we are seeing it, and we don't know, but we have to also somewhere disrupt this thing. And I will also have another thought. I'll share that maybe post Rajiv bhai. So Rajiv bhai, what is your thought about this onto the healthcare?
sure. The future, remember, Rajesh, you used to say, or a lot of people used to say, CIO means career is over. C, career I
या
is
मैंने
over.
वो बात सुन के मैंने I took
चलो
that.
चलो हाँ ठीक है वो that's over now. So see, there is not even one denial that future of software development will be AI agents, whether in the pilot form or in the co-pilot form. So CIO will be, the IT team will be the new HR for AI agents. That's for sure. Okay, because nobody can manage this AI agent because they will be working with you. So somebody has to manage them. So IT team new role will be pure HR for this. So CIO will be CAO, Chief Agent Officer. So Rajesh, some life is still there. So that's the first change which I foresee. You mark my words. CAO is the new role which is bound to come very soon. Okay. Second thing, which is I think you ask, how it is going to look like. I think all CAO, deliberately using the word CAO, should have governance with a spine. That's the only skill they should have. When I say governance with a spine, they should look into mainly broadly three parameters in all AI work which they do. One, that AI has to be embedded. It can't be, running in isolation. It has to be part of the transaction system. Second, it has to have a traceability. What it means is that, Harvinder took a fantastic example of 99.99 is equal to zero, or is not 100%. Yeah, that's the fantastic example. Same thing is bound to happen eventually when we move in the AI world. So you need to have a traceability. You have to figure it out where 0.01 went wrong, and you should be able to figure it out why it went wrong. So traceability is more important. I mean, third point, according to me, and the most important, is that you, as a part of the CAO, have to have a control on the velocity. So what it means is that, for your low risk projects, not talking about logistic, they should move in the highest lane. Okay. For your high risk project, you have to reduce the accidental rates, which, Bangaji is trying to do. So what I'm saying is that, you decide which is high risk, which is low risk. And if everything needs it 12-week review, you will lose because you are not working rightly. If nothing is needs a review, which means that you're reckless. you have to bring some governance into this. Basically, all we have to understand as a CAO is that governance is not a handbrake in the AI journey. It is the steering wheel.
Hmm. Great point. I think we took that CAO. मैं कब से इंतजार कर रहा हूँ. CIO means career is over, right? That has not happened. Then it moves to CDO, Chief Digital Officer, right? Then एक और designation आ गया बीच में कि भैया CIDO, right? Chief Information Digital Officer, right? Now you are giving another this thing. तो मतलब अपने को कुछ ना कुछ करके अपना चलाते रहना है basically. That's what I think is clearly visible towards it. But great point, Rajiv bhai, because we might become an HR head for agents, not humans, but agents basically, which are digital agents. That's a great point. I think you have made onto this. And governance, I didn't honestly pick it up in this because the session was only for 1 hour. And I wanted to ask also about the security piece, also about that how do you think that you are kind of sharing a lot of information now with the agents, and agents are calculating all the information. How are you going to secure this? But we'll have definitely another session onto this. My last thing to Harvinder. इन्होंने तो नया डेजिग्नेशन दे दिया अपने राजीव भाई ने कि चीफ एजेंट ऑफिसर, राइट? हाउ मेनी एजेंट ऑफिसर्स one organization will have, or how many agents? It is one agent which will do everything, or we may still have multiple agents doing multiple other things. उनकी तो नौकरी बचाओ कम से कम.
Definitely, it is going to be quite revolutionary. I think for last 2-3 years, we all are seeing that this agentic and more of a generative AI have taken a very good seat. I would say Ajay ji and Rajiv sir have already covered a lot of points here. Additionally, I can add that I think, which is also covered directly, indirectly, somewhere we are going to build a intelligent enterprise organization, right? I think that is the key goal. And I still remember when this digital thing happened, then there was one, slide or image used to come, who leads the digital, CEO, CIO, CTO, or COVID. And most of people said this COVID, yes, it actually led that digital. Same way, I think now I'm thinking when it comes to this era, when we are talking that who is actually leading the business to become more intelligent, is now the time for agenting. Now a time for so-called CIOs career is getting over, can be taken as a new challenge and focus on the enterprise rather than a technology team. I think I really look this as an opportunity. Let us get more into business as business. I used to hear a lot of large company CIOs almost a decade before who were telling us and guiding us, hey, talk about business, don't talk about technology. Don't say AI, don't say digital, don't say cloud, don't say any implementation. Those are jargons. But we still carry those words most of the time. But I think this is the time when new definition of CIOs are coming as a CAIO officer, CAO, or many more to come. It has to be, upgrade from that perspective also and take a lead.
Great. I think thank you so much, Harvinder. Thanks a lot for putting that, and what do you call it as, whether you call it as CAO, CIO, CDO, CTO, or whatever that may be, but definitely this may continue to change, name may continue to change, but most important become the enterprise basically, and how innovation and how things you are kind of bringing it up. I think this was fantastic discussion. I would like to sincerely thank all yeah, Daya, you want to say something? Sorry.
Yeah, Rajesh, I just have one point I quickly wanted to make. The great learning from Rajiv ji, what he mentioned about AI, Arvinder, Ajay ji, all three of them, they explained so beautifully how the evolution of IT delivery has happened in last couple of decades, right? But I just wanted to add one point, so perhaps it's for everyone's learning or benefit perspective, that AI has come a long way. The delivery models have evolved from project, what you mentioned, from project to product to AI delivered, AI-led delivery. But I think, there's a lot that has happened. There's a lot that is yet to happen, right? We are yet to reach in the journey of AI where AI is, producing something that's absolutely fine. But what is getting, left by the AI, there is a clear decision on that saying that what are the parameters that I didn't select this, I selected this, but I didn't select this. So the whole evaluation to that point is going to take some time, and till that time, I think each one of us has a lot to do
Correct.
by embracing this AI, right?
Absolutely, yes. No, absolutely, yes. There is a lot which will keep on happening, and we'll keep on renaming our this thing. मेरे को याद है जब हमने I think 2010 or 11 we used to say it cloud. Cloud was a new buzzword, right? Which started with. Now we have something called agentic AI, right? So that's something basically which is there, and new name which has already got for the CIO is CAO. So I'm sure most of the people might be thinking to change the name, but yes, great point. I think coming from all of you as a practitioner into this industry, I would like to sincerely thank each one of you for joining us for this discussion, and especially thanks to Daya for pushing me to do something like this. So thank you, Daya. Thanks a lot. Without your push, I could not have even started, honestly, because he has been pushing me for last month and a half. Now I said, yeah, karenge, we'll do that, and somehow I'm not getting time. But thanks, Daya, for pushing me, bringing into it. And
Rajesh, there is a lot to learn from our colleagues. Actually. We are missing that opportunity. Thank you to Rajesh Sikka ji, Harvinder ji, Ajay ji for taking out time and sharing their experiences with us. Actually. It was great learning.
and thank you.
Likewise,
so much.
sir.
Thank you so much. I think that was the most important thing, because we will continue to have this discussions. We'll continue to have on the new topic every time. We'll bring new perspective. If you have liked this thing, this session about this thing, just give on the chat whether you liked it or not. Just say yes, whatever you want to say, or if you're not liked, कोई बात नहीं, फिर भी आप लिख दो कि नहीं अच्छा लगा. So that's okay, perfectly fine. So you're getting good session. Feedback is very good session, very insightful section. Thank you so much, Vivek bhai. Thank you, Nile. Thank you, Biren sir. Thanks a lot, Ramesh ji. Thank you, Gandhi ji. Thank you, Gaurav. Thanks, Shashank. Pathin, thank you so much. Narinder, thank you. Thank you. Absolutely great. Great. Thank you so much, everyone. Now, because all the audience have been patiently listening to all of us onto this, I'll first